welcome to the London Motorshow. Small crowd. It's very, very busy. I'm sorry it's so busy for those of you who want more space, but it's lovely to see so many people here for this wonderful event. We're really enjoying holding it. We hope it's a family-friendly day out where you can get close to the cars, get inside, sit in Porsches and everything else, and just have a wonderful day out. But of course we have some guests here today. We have a very special guest coming up now, so please welcome the fast lady, Jodie Kidd.
It do seem quite quiet. Can you hear this one? Yeah, anyway, hello everyone. Are you having a lovely day? Yeah? There's some amazing cars down there. I haven't yet got to go around. What's your favourite? What's been your favourite?
All of them.
All of them. There
Lovely
we go.
cars. Anyway, Jodie, everyone knows of you, especially the car people here, the classic car show, fast driving lady, but globally you're famous for being this supermodel. How on earth
Many
did you start
years
being
ago.
a supermodel? Is it sort of a job application down the job centre or what?
Yeah, no. Well, I was kind of spotted as a kid. So I was about 15 years old, and someone, a model spotter, came up and said, "You're very tall and very long, and you should try as a model." And I was actually into horses at the time, and I wanted to follow in my dad's footsteps, who's over there somewhere with my son, and be a international show jumper. And he was on the British team, and so that was what I dreamt of doing, was following his footsteps. And so I was going from ponies to horses, and I needed a bigger lorry. So I thought, well, I'll give modelling a go, and I'll give it six months, and then maybe I could buy my lorry. And anyway, that was the beginning of my crazy 10 years.
Did you finish school? Did you do A-levels, or did you leave school and start globetrotting?
Poor Dad has always said he's paid for this huge amount of money for all our educations, and I've got an older brother, myself, and a sister, and my brother got one GCSE, which was an A in art. My sister got one GCSE, which was a B in art, and I got one GCSE, which was a C in art. So he said, well, what was the point of spending all that money? And he was over there. But anyway, here we are. We've always led, some colourful and eventful lives. So
was that a scary world? Young girl, all of a sudden you're in New York and Paris. I mean, was it a bit spooky at first?
It was very, I was quite, because I was the youngest of five, I was quite grown up for my age. So for me, it was just incredible to travel the world. As soon as I started modelling, I was about 15, about 3 months later, I was in New York. I was walking down catwalks with Helena Christensen and Kate Moss and Cindy Crawford, and it was just like, what is going on? But it was, for me, really exciting. But I always had someone that travelled with me, which always helped. So I didn't feel so kind of alienated. But it's a tough world, as in you don't see your family, you don't see your friends, you are just non-stop. But
you have a lot of practice, like in motor race. You have to practice one foot,
left, right foot. It's really complicated.
Yeah. The turns at the end, a bit like a handbrake turn.
Don't fall over. No.
Did you ever crash then? Did you ever see the American
moments?
There
was once where I was, and I had these amazing kind of boots on that had this zip up the back, really high heels, and so I was walking down and I was going, oh, one feels a bit dodgy. It's coming undone. It's coming up. Yeah, it's undone. And then it's kind of flapping, and I'm still trying to, do this. And I thought, well, I just got to get rid of it, and I just flicked it, thinking it was just going to fall off the stage, and it just, I don't know, it got too much momentum and just ended up flying into this very important American L editor's face. Hence then, I've never worked for American L since that moment. But so no, I haven't fallen over, but had some moments.
And other special venues, like Formula 1 cars go to Monaco, is the one event which was the one you look forward to most. What's the most glamorous catwalk in the world? The
most glamorous catwalk, probably doing the Spanish Steps. That was always very beautiful, but also quite hell-raising in great big high hills, because there's about 120 of them, and you go down and
where's that?
Fountains. It's in Rome.
In Rome. Spanish Steps. In Rome.
Yeah.
Obviously, I should have known that.
I know. Makes sense. But yeah, they're kind of very worn, and you're kind of going down in these really expensive, ridiculous dresses, and yeah, so anyway, I didn't fall down those either. But yeah, it's beautiful.
So now you're earning money as a supermodel. Does that mean you couldn't do the horse riding in case you broke a leg? So did you stop riding horses?
I had to sell the horses and hopefully was going to get back to them, but I just made that was my career, and I was quite successful, and so I just stuck with that one.
Well, you didn't start playing polo, did you, once you started modelling less, or not?
No, well, that was, my brother was a polo player and was a professional British polo player, and so when I got to about my mid-20s, I wanted to get back into riding horses again, and so I jumped on his horses and then ended up playing a bit of polo.
It's dangerous, that great big stick wheeling around.
It was fun. Did it for a couple of years.
So you never injured yourself falling on a horse?
Yeah, you always injure yourself. Yes, yeah. No, I'd broken ribs, and then you have to get back on and finish the course. And yeah, but injuring yourself and riding horses is just part of the parcel.
So driving tests. What car did you learn to drive in?
What did I learn to drive in? I drove because I was brought up on a farm. Obviously, we're from a horsey family. And we had this lovely Mark I Volkswagen that was just a kind of runaround, and so I learned how to drive on her, and I used to take the rubbish to the end of the drive and used to kind of kangaroo hop all the way down the drive. But so I learned to drive on that, but I actually knew how to drive tractors and horse lorries before I did cars. So that was the life of, being on a farm.
Passed the test first time?
No, failed. Speeding, ironically. So then passed the second time.
First car, what was your first road car that you...
First road car was actually Dad's hand-me-down, which was a really wonderful old 7 Series Beamer.
A huge thing then,
huge thing. But he always said that if his kids were going to go out, he much preferred a big car rather than a biscuit tin. So he was travelling abroad, and so he said, "Look, I'll give this to you because I feel safe." And the 7 Series is such a great car. And just...
Did you have a name those cars when you were young?
Didn't actually.
The Barge or something?
Yeah, no. I seem to name my cars now I'm a bit older, but no, didn't name her. But yeah, it was a great car and went for years and years and years and years. Solid cars.
What about treating yourself when you were earning a lot of money? What was your biggest treat that you bought yourself?
Probably my first big treat to myself was the Ferrari 550 Maranello, one of the world speed record cars, which I bought, and then I went through a massive puddle, and I just blew about. I don't know, the whole engine basically I had to replace. It was just a nightmare, and then I thought, right, well, I'm just going to get rid of it. And I sold it for pittance, and now I'm looking every day and it's like 300, 400,000. I'm like,
Jodie.
No!
So what about motoring? Did you ever go to British Grand Prix? When did you first attend a car race meeting?
My first race, I didn't really knew I liked cars until I did Top Gear, until I did that lap, and then I thought, God, this is really amazing, and fell in love with it. And then
so you haven't been before at all?
Never,
really, no?
Never. I was in the modelling world. You didn't really.
1 horsepower was enough.
Yes, exactly. So it wasn't until then, and then suddenly I was like, I love this. This is the most amazing thing, and so I took myself off very quietly to Goodwood and took my ARDs. And passed my ARDs, and then started doing some little kind of races, and then got picked up by our dear friend Sylvia, and she sent from Maserati,
and we shared the car at Monza.
We did.
And what happened when I handed it over to you?
I crashed it. Literally on the first corner at Monza. I was when I was a baby racing.
I know. Inexperienced. You're rushing excitement, rushing out of the pit lane.
But yeah, so I got sent to Italy to do an advanced driving course with Maserati, and had the most amazing time. I was racing the Trofeos around Mugello, I think it was, and then they asked me if I would join their racing series, which was the Trofeo, and so I said yeah, but I obviously needed an international racing license. They said, don't worry, you live in Italy, we'll get you one here. So I was like, fine. So I sat down to have my test, and of course it's all in Italian, and so they arranged to have the guy that was training me to translate. And so it was like one of the first questions, and he was like, so you go around the track and you see the flag, and the flag is blue. A, it means you must go immediately to the pits. B, it means you drive too slow and you need to pull over. I was like, it's obviously B then. Anyway, so I passed 100%, and then from that moment, I'm now an Italian racing driver. I'm not even British. Yeah, so that's how it started, and then raced with the Trofeo for about 3 years, and that was a support race for a lot of the Formula One races. So we got to race at Silverstone, at Imola, at the Nürburgring, and all the best tracks. So very, very spoiled, but I learnt a lot.
Now. You haven't raced for a while now. Do you like to get back in and do more again?
I do World Classics. Since presenting the Classic Car Show, I have done the classic races, so the Monaco, the Mille. So I'm actually off in 4 days to go and test drive my car that I'm racing in this year's Mille, which is the BMW 328 Roma, which is a beautiful race car.
I'd like to point out, it may be a beautiful racing car, but it's about as big as Noddy's car. And Jodie is going to be sitting. I saw this being driven by the BMW executives last year, because I go out to the Mille as well. And a 6 foot tall man was about this far out of the car. So you're
I'm going to be in trouble, basically. That's why I'm going to go and get fitted in the car, because the last time I did the Mille, I was racing for Jaguar in the XK120.
How many times have you done it now? You've done it
3 times. This will be my 4th.
4th already.
This beautiful roadster, the XK120, gorgeous long nose, just one of the prettiest cars ever. But I couldn't get my knees round the steering wheel and get to the pedals. So they were like, well, we're just going to have to put a smaller steering wheel on. So I ended up with this tiny little steering wheel, trying to get this great big 1 ton car. I came out looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger after that.
But it's a hell of a bet. I mean, I almost prefer to sit and watch the Mille. The Mille is the most wonderful event. It takes 4 days, 1,000 miles, which is what the famous race was.
Yeah.
But you're driving sometimes for 12 hours.
It's very full on. And it's open road, so you can be flying up to a roundabout at 70, 80 miles an hour with a 1940s car with drum brakes that you've been driving non-stop for 10 hours and nothing works, and come up to this roundabout and to be literally flying over the top of it, and you'll just see cars coming in and crashing and driving. It's just absolute mayhem. And then of course the police are trying to do their best job to make you go as fast as you possibly can. And it's very full on.
Yeah.
There are some really big crashes.
And you're still keen to do it again, maybe?
I
do it
love
once and retire.
No, I love it. I think I much prefer kind of street racing, legal street racing, than doing track stuff. Track I find you get quite monotonous, whereas doing street racing is great, because I was brought up doing the gumball, when I first started.
Oh, the dreaded gumball, the dreaded gumball. They got bad. They give fast cars a bad reputation. Gumball.
Well, that's because there's a lot of people that can't drive, but there are a few that can drive.
Well, you did a classic car show with Count Quenchula Wilson, my old Top Gear colleague. Any more of those coming up in the horizon?
Yes, I think there might be. But it was a great show to do, and I got to. Quentin was always sitting back and doing all the stats, and it's like a fountain of knowledge, and I learnt so much from him.
I know. What he doesn't know, he makes up anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Probably. But I got the really fun bit. I got to go and actually drive the cars, because the classic cars are so beautiful, and I think should be driven, and they like to be driven. I find it such a shame when you go and see these stunning cars and they're in museums and they just want to open up and go for it. So I was the one that was allowed to do that. So I got the chance to drive £15 million Ferrari 250 Californias and Bugattis, and so it was an incredible experience. So hopefully we'll come back and do another one, because I think everyone liked it. Did anyone watch it?
Yeah, classic car show. Yes, nods.
Few nods. There's our 2 viewers there.
All this flirting around the world now. You're now a responsible young lady. You're a mother of a young boy that's coming up to 6. Is he going to be karting? Is he going to be carrying?
He does. He loves cars. I don't know where he is. He's over there. He's completely in love with James May.
So would you prefer who?
James May. He wears the bandanas.
But would you rather he...
Hello?
Yeah, we're back again. Would you rather he had a go-kart or a horse? What are you going to encourage? Go. Mike's gone down over here. Mike's gone dead. Go-kart. You mustn't call them go-karts, must you? The karting world are very fussy, they're karts.
Except for I've just bought a pub.
Bought a pub?
Yeah, I've just bought a pub. So now...
A pub or a pub?
A pub.
She's just bought a pub. I couldn't hear it either. Why have you bought a pub? Everyone goes bankrupt with pubs.
No. Oh, I'm back on. No, it's going to be amazing. Except for poor Indy, kind of like, I drop him off at school, seeing all the mothers, and then he's like, Mum, you're off to the pub again at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, it's not really quite like that.
Where's the pub?
It's in Sussex. It's actually anyone that's en route to Goodwood or something, stop off at the Half Moon in Curdford. It's going to be amazing.
Dining, fine
food,
dining.
Delicious food, wonderful entertainment.
Pulling the pints behind the bar?
I will be.
Occasionally?
Yes, I will be.
When you're not at the Mealy.
When I'm not the Mealy, yeah, exactly.
Beyond the Mealy, any other more plans with cars?
I've got some quite exciting things coming up, but I can't really talk about them yet. But it's involving lots of cars and presenting and...
Still modelling? Still in the fashion
No modelling, no, good God, no, I'm retired. You retire, you get your pension at 25 as a model.
Well, do you have any questions to the floor? I've asked this main thing. Anyone want to ask any questions about it? Yes, young man. I better read it out. She wants to know, what is the worst car you've ever driven? Sorry, sound man. What's the worst car you've ever driven?
What is the worst car? Where's Dad? Dad?
He's not, Liz. He can't hear over. The speakers aren't that way. She can't remember the name.
I can't remember the name of it.
What was that car?
Austin 1800.
An 1800.
That was, I can remember it.
Yeah, a large front-wheel drive.
That was Dad's gift to the kids. It was just, you used to just watch the fuel tank go like that. It was just...
Any more?
Any more?
Yes, yeah, mate. Sorry again?
Competing in that.
Have you done any road rally? Have you done road rallying? Jim Clark, road rallying? Rallied at all? Ever
Proper,
rallied?
like WRC, I'd love to. I'd really love to. I've had a few offers, but they've never really worked out. But it's something that I just think is awesome. And I was very, very lucky to get to go round with Colin McRae. And we went round a rally track together, and it was a real eye-opener. Unbelievable skill, and so much fun. So it's something I really love to do, but my path went on to kind of classics and Mille Miglia and things like that. So hopefully I can get back and do some rallies. It's a real thing that I want to do. Have you done them?
Yeah, I've done a couple. I've done Rally GB twice. I've survived Rally GB.
Survived.
So it's amazing. Yeah,
fantastic. I think they're awesome.
Any more? Yes, John.
Have you ever done Le Mans? And if you haven't, would you consider it?
Le Mans. Has she ever done Le Mans?
Have I ever done Le Mans? No, another one of my... I've been around the track many times, but I've never actually done the 24-hour. And yes, have you been?
No, not yet.
That's a great week.
You have to get Dad to take you. That's
camping
one of the best
Dad,
weeks.
Camping with Dad, a few beers by the fireside, 24-hour racing. That is the week to go.
It's brilliant. It is.
Fantastic week in France.
And you've raced it?
Yeah, I've done 14 times.
14 times.
So that's a wonderful event, really. It's my favourite event.
Yeah.
Any more? Yes, right down the front. The fastest. What's the fastest you've ever gone in a car?
Definitely 200 miles an hour plus.
Don't try that at home, all right?
Yeah. Exactly. On a track, of course.
Any more? One, right, you'll have to, he's put his phone up to film, which I thought he was putting his hands up to want to come, I know. Sorry to me, I'll repeat.
Yeah,
What?
on the classic version.
Yeah. Apparently you said Ferrari California was your most favourite car. What was so special about the Ferrari California?
Ferrari California, the 250, in my mind, I mean, it is the most beautiful car, the most incredible era for Ferrari. You know, from the 275 to the 250, there's something about the curves, there's something about that V12, there's just something so magical, and it literally was a poster, you know, it's my dream car, and just to get the experience to drive the short wheelbase one was, I mean, honestly, it will stay with me for the rest of my life. And I think it's now £15 million, and to get to spend a day driving that car. But it's just the curves of it. Everything is so exquisite in it when you're driving, the steering wheel, the leather, and the whole thought that you could kind of drive to work in this car and then take it off on the weekend and go racing in it. That it was so versatile. Such a fantastic engine, fantastic, just everything about it makes me just smile. It's a beautiful, beautiful car, beautiful bit of engineering, and I'll never forget that day.
Bored now, you're going on so
Sorry,
much, we can tell.
You can tell her.
She can't stop talking about it now.
What's
Any more
yours?
questions that are not Ferrari Californians?
What is it
all
then?
Day. McLaren F1.
McLaren F1.
Well, what's it like to operate in a male-dominated sport? Are you being respected?
Yeah. No, I mean, it was when I was racing, when I first started racing, I was kind of, everyone's going, oh, there's a blonde model coming in and being very nice. And yes.
Grabbing all the good drives.
Like, oh yeah, we'll show you the lines. And then I started getting a little bit more confident, a little bit better, a little bit faster. Then they couldn't quite overtake me, so then they started playing much more dirtier, and then it got quite full on. I mean, I was lucky to come out of a race without being T-boned or spun or...
Quite right too.
I was about to say, no, I'm not going to say that at all. That's very inappropriate. So yeah, it was tough in racing, especially when I got to where I was beating the boys. And then it's always been tough. You've got to know what you're talking about. You've got to talk with a certain amount of conviction and love and knowledge. And yeah, it's not been the easiest, but if you can put your money where your mouth is and you can prove that you can drive a car, which hopefully I can, and I have proved, that you do get that respect back.
Any more? One more question, or a couple more. Any more hands? Someone's pointing. Oh, come forward, then we can hear you easy.
What's your dream car?
What's my dream car? No, I won't say it's the Ferrari. I mean, I've always loved the Bugatti Veyron. Just to have a car that's got 1,000 brake horse, it's just incredible. So a modern car would be the Bugatti. Old car it would be the 250 short Scally Spider. Yeah.
Any more? Well, thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you, guys.
I hope you enjoyed Jodie being here. She's a big car fan.
Gibbering on.
So we're honoured to have you here, Jodie. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
I think Yanni, someone's rapping down below in about half an hour or something. If you know what rapping's all about, I have no idea at all myself, but lots to do, lots to eat, drink and be merry. Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye, guys.